Okay, today we're going to look at triangles and missing angles in triangles. So the first one we're going to look at is interior angles. So interior angles are your three angles that are inside your triangles. In a triangle, they add up to 180 degrees. So looking at this first one, we know that this angle right here, if you have a little, what looks like a square because it uses all the sides, that's 90 degrees. So we have 40 plus 90 plus this x is going to give me 180 degrees. Now, from here, we need to go ahead and add up 40 and 90, which will give me 130 plus x equals 180. Well, now it's a one-step equation. How do you solve for x? How do you get rid of positive 130? We're going to subtract 130 on both sides. And x equals 50. So our missing angle in this triangle was 50 degrees. Now we're going to take it one step farther in the next one. We have 70 plus 60. Now this other angle right here is 8x plus 2. So we're going to write down plus 8x plus 2 equals 180. Now it's still just an equation, just like we've been doing. 70 plus 60 is 130. Plus 8x plus 2 equals 180. Well, 130 plus 2 is going to give me 132. Plus 8x equals 180. Now, this should look familiar to you. We're down to a two-step equation. How do you kick out positive 132? We're going to subtract 132 on both sides. And I'm left with 8x equals 48. We're not finished yet. How do you break up 8 times x? How do you undo multiplying? We're going to divide by 8. 48 divided by 8 is going to give us x equals 6. So in this triangle, to solve for the value of x, it is 6. Now, if you were asked for this whole angle, you would say 8 times 6 is 48, plus 2 more is 50, and realize that this entire angle is 50 degrees. Now, this next one over here, there's a couple different ways that we could solve this. So we're going to think back to the angles we learned about on Monday. If two angles are across from each other, they are vertical angles. Vertical angles are exactly the same. So if this angle is 80, this angle right here is 80. This angle is 60. This angle right here is 60. Now, if that's hard for you to remember and you're better at saying that two angles make a straight line is 180, 80 plus 100 is 180, 100 plus 80 is 180. Or just think about it. If they're across from each other, they're the same. So now I have angles of 80, 60, and x plus 51. So 80 plus 60 plus x plus 51 equals 180 degrees. First thing we're going to do is add up 80 and 60. 80 plus 60 is going to give me 140 plus x plus 51 equals 180. 140 plus 51 is going to give me 191. That seems a little odd because our total number is 180, but it is okay. So we're at a one-step equation. How do you kick out positive 191? We're going to subtract 191, and x equals negative 11. When you're just solving for an x, and it's up here as part of an equation or an expression, it can be negative because negative 11 plus 51 is going to give me that this angle right here is really 40 degrees. All right, now we need to look at exterior angles, the outside angles, the angles outside of a triangle. Before we do anything to try to figure out x and y on this first one, I want to figure out what is this angle right here. So we have 102 plus 35 plus, we're going to call it y, has to equal, no we're not, we're going to call it z, because we've already got a y up there, equals 180. Well, 102 plus 35 is going to give me 137 plus z equals 180. Well, how do you kick out positive 137? Subtract 137. 180 minus 137 is going to give me 43. So this angle is 43 degrees. Now I'm easily able to figure out x and y. 35 and x form a straight line. So 35 plus x have to equal 180. So we're going to subtract 35 on both sides. And x equals 145. So right here, we would get 145. Now I still need to figure out y. 43 and y form a straight line. So 43 plus y equals 180. How do you kick out 43? We're going to minus 43. And y equals 180 minus 43 will give me 137. Now, this next triangle right here gets a little tricky, but we can handle it. You can do this. Think back to your angles from Monday. When two angles are straight across from each other, they are called vertical angles. So if this angle is 35, this angle inside the triangle is 35. So now I can figure out what this one right here is. I have 35 plus 100 plus, I'm going to call it y, is going to equal 180. 35 plus 100 is 135. How do you kick out positive 135? We're going to subtract 135 on both sides. And we end up with 180 minus 135, which gives me 45. So this angle is 45. I'm not finished because I really wanted to solve for x. Well, 45 and x make this straight line. These two angles are supplementary. Supplementary equals 180. So 45 plus x equals 180. How do you kick out positive 45? You minus 45 on both sides. X equals 135. So what you've seen on these triangles is that you're just finding one piece at a time, and it really goes back to solving equations to be able to figure out the missing angles.